got like quiet in here. The mayor walked in and everybody shut up.
Sandy got the same.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the October 11th, 2022 regularly scheduled City of Port Clinton Council meeting in the Linda Hartlog Council Chambers. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the Lord's Prayer. Moment of silence for those serving and protecting our country.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Okay, thank you. You may be seated. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Kelly Nagel, excused. Pat Movit. Here. Beth Gilman. Here. Roseanne Hickman, excused. Richard Morgan.
Here.
Mark Phillips. Here. Jerry Crowley.
Thank you. Council, you previously received the September 27, 2022 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilman. Thank you, Mr. Floyd. I have a motion by Mrs. Gilman, seconded by Mr. Floyd. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor to approve the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. The chair notes certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and regulations of this meeting. We have no guest presentation, no public comment. We want to executive officer reports. Council, this evening there is a new ordinance 33-22. It's on for its first reading. It is assigned to the Safety Services Committee, and administration has asked that it be passed on its second reading at this point. And actually, that's all I have this evening. Move on to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Hope you've had a good couple of weeks. I know I mentioned this last time, but it's worth repeating, the Halloween activities throughout the community. The Port Clinton High School Spooktacular is going to be on Wednesday the 26th from 6 to 7:30, Wednesday the 26th, 6 to 7:30. It's going to be a trunk or treat event in the parking lot just north of the high school and south of the middle school where the buses turn around. If anyone in the community is interested in donating candy or funds that can be used to purchase candy, call the Port Clinton High School main office at 734-2147. 734-2147. Again, that's October 26th, which is a Wednesday, 6 to 7:30 at the high school. Then the Chamber of Commerce and Main Street will be having their trunk or treat event in downtown Port Clinton on Saturday, October 29th from 1 to 4. October 29th from 1 to 4. Again, anyone interested with questions or candy donations, contact the Chamber Main Street office at 734-5503. 734-5503. And then the granddaddy of them all, the neighborhood trick-or-treat through the streets of Port Clinton will be on October 31st, Halloween, from 6 to 8 p.m. 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. Earlier today, I received notification that, we're talking about Halloween. We're going to take it one step further. I received notification from the Salvation Army that they're having their kickoff breakfast out at the Catawba Island Club at 7:30 a.m. on Wednesday, November 2nd. I plan on attending. If anyone in this room would like to also represent the city, please give me a call. And give me a call by the end of business this coming Friday, and I'll RSVP for everyone. And since we're on the topic of bell ringing, I took the liberty of signing the city up to ring the Salvation Army bell on Wednesday, December 7th at the Friendship Station at Perry and Buckeye. We've got the whole day, kids, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I sent an email, and Sandy, if you'll nod and agree that, okay, good. Contact Sandy to sign up for a time slot. Again, that'll be Wednesday, December 7th, a date which will live in infamy, at the Friendship Food Store from 10 a to 8 p. Figure 2-hour shifts, go from there. Council, you'll soon see in front of you an ordinance addressing what Chief Johnson spoke of the last time, how the state of Ohio, through emergency funds, granted the city of Port Clinton $220,000 for EMS services. We're in the running as well for a second round of grants. We've made the final list for an additional $80,000, and there's an additional $80,000 in the pipeline. Law Director is composing an ordinance asking council to allow the city to accept those funds. I would ask that you bundle those all together in the event that additional funds come down the road, that yes, we'll take the 220, yes, we'll take what they'll give us on the second round, and God willing, yes, we'll take what they'll give us on the third round. So I hope to see that ordinance at the next city council meeting. Curbside brush pickup started earlier today. Again, this is the final curbside brush pickup of the season, so I'd ask the citizens to have their items out by the curb sooner in the week rather than later, because we certainly don't want to miss you. They will make a second pass, but again, this is the last week and the last one of the season for the curbside brush pickup. The fall city cleanup is going to be next Saturday in 11 days, October 22nd, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. here at City Hall. You come in off of Buckeye Boulevard and loop around. Contact the city if you have any questions about any prohibited items. 734-5522, extension 2. 734-5522, extension 2. Again, that citywide cleanup will be October 22nd from 8 to 3 p. here at City Hall. If you've been downtown in the last couple of hours, you notice that mom activities have concluded. It finished yesterday with an event with Ida Rupp Library. I drove down before we came up here. The stage is gone, the picnic tables, all the other accoutrements inside, weather permitting, the canopy and the jersey barriers and whatnot, and the street will be open hopefully by the end of business tomorrow, again, weather permitting. Just so you know, plans are well underway. You know, this started as Meals on Madison with just a couple picnic tables and evolved to what you see today. The intent is to turn the entire project over to Main Street. It's my understanding their board is completely on board with taking over this project. So plans for the MOM 2.3 are well underway, and actually the city received a $3,600 grant through Shores and Islands, Ohio, to be used for next year with the string lights that go over the street, purchase some additional umbrellas, some portable chairs, cornhole boards, and one of the really cool things, the electronic message board. You know, advertise sponsors, bands coming up and later on, and all that fun stuff. So it's great to have the community buy-in for all of that. The walkway, for all intents and purposes, that construction project is complete. There is a final walkthrough still yet to take place. That date and time is still to be determined. The chief engineer on that project is also a member of FEMA and is currently down in Florida, not on vacation. So Mr. Colson's been talking with the parties at the to get that walkthrough scheduled as soon as possible, but the punch list items have been addressed. Any of you that came from the west end of town probably drove through the intersection of Fulton and 3rd. If you remember, a couple months ago, a garbage truck took out the traffic light. Well, the traffic light is back up, working properly, and I want to thank Mr. Schenker and Mr. Colston, and I'm sure Sandy had quite a bit to do with it as well, in working with the insurance company for Republic Services to get that finalized. Since we're talking about traffic lights, several folks in the community have inquired, now that we are truly a beach city with a little under a mile of beach, why the heck do we shut down the traffic light at the city beach? It's not on a timer, it's just activated when pedestrians come up and hit that button. I had a conversation with the police chief and Mr. Colston, and for now we're just going to leave it on. Normally that would be turned off by now, but we're just going to let it go and see how it happens. People, if you're down there, you see people walking the beach all season long. So hopefully that will continue. Likewise, if you've driven down Perry Street, you'll notice that the restroom facility at Waterworks Park near the lighthouse is underway. They're putting in the water sewer lines and getting the foundations and everything going. Again, that's a collaborative effort between the city, the Lighthouse Conservancy, and the Friends of the Parks, who've all contributed in some form to make that happen. Hopefully by another couple of weeks that'll be done, just in time to winterize it. But again, it'll be ready to go for next season. And finally, of course, we're all on the same page here. Go Guardians, beat the Yankees. With that, Madam President, that concludes my report, unless anyone has any questions. Game's on at 7:30, so let's move it along.
Yeah.
We have about 30 questions.
The auditor is not with us this evening. Treasurer's report, please.
Through October 11th today, we have collected on the bed tax $265,076.76, which exceeds our budget by $15,076.76. The dock tax is at $20,780 collected, which is just under budget by about $7,188.
Okay. Law Director.
Nothing today, Madam President, thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor's reports. Mr. Colston.
I think the mayor covered about everything. If you have any questions, I certainly will take those now.
Any questions? And Chief Scott? Okay, thank you. Committee reports. Ms. Silva's Finance?
Yes, we are having a meeting tomorrow at 6.
Thank you. Safety Services, Ms. Phillips?
Thank you, Madam President. We had met earlier today, and we have looked at the, what we call peddlers ordinance, which is 3022, and we agree with much is written in there, so that should be fine when we get to the third reading. The other thing we talked about was the ordinance 33-22, because we knew the Civil Service Commission thing was coming up, and we also agreed on that one 3-0 to endorse it.
Okay. Thank you. Economic and Community Development, Ms. Gilman?
Nothing tonight, Madam President, except our next meeting is after the next council meeting, October 25th.
Yep. Thank you. We have nothing under correspondence. We'll move on to third readings of ordinances and resolutions.
Madam President, should we put under correspondence the financial report, has that been added in?
It has-
No,
This is the new one. So,
Second.
yeah, we can add it under the next meeting when Mr. Belo is here, and then you can explain it, I believe, so. We'll move on to third readings of ordinances and resolutions. We have ordinance 27-22. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 27-22.
Ordinance number 27-22, an ordinance to approve July 2022 replacement pages to the Port Clinton codified ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 27-22?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to retain emergency clause.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilman. Any discussion? Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Trolling, seconded by Mrs. Gilman to retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 27-22. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 5-0. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 27-22?
Madam President,
Mr.
I'd like to
Trolling.
make a motion to adopt ordinance 27-22.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilman. Any discussion? Okay, thank you. I have a motion by Mr. Crowley, seconded by Mrs. Gilman to adopt ordinance 27-22. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 5-0. Ordinance 27-22 is hereby adopted. We'll move on to second readings of ordinances and resolutions. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 29-22.
Ordinance number 29-22, a special purpose flood damage reduction ordinance for the city of Port Clinton, Ohio.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 29-22? Seeing none, ordinance 29-22 will be moved to its third reading at the next regularly scheduled meeting on October 25th, 2022. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 30-22?
Ordinance number 30-22, an ordinance amending section 717.03 of chapter 717 of the Port Clinton codified ordinances regulating peddlers and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action this evening as to ordinance 30-22? Seeing none, ordinance 30-22 will be moved to its third reading at the next regularly scheduled council meeting on October 25th, 2022. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 31-22?
Ordinance number 31-22, an ordinance revising and fixing the salaries of certain supervisory positions classified as non-exempt employees of the city of Port Clinton, Ohio, not covered by a collective bargaining agreement, and replacing any previous ordinances referencing salaries for certain non-exempt employees and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 31-22? Seeing none, ordinance 31-22 will be moved to its third reading at the next regularly scheduled council meeting on October 25th, 2022. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 32-22?
Ordinance number 32-22, an ordinance authorizing the Director of Safety and Service to enter into an agreement with the United States Army Corps of Engineers, USACE, for the construction of the Port Clinton Water and Sanitary Sewer Replacement, USACE Section 594 project, the project, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 32-22? Seeing none, ordinance 32-22 will be moved to its third reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on October 25th, 2022. Move on to first readings of ordinances and resolution. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 33-22?
Ordinance number 33-22, an ordinance amending section 5.04 of the Civil Service Commission of the City of Port Clinton, Ohio rules and regulations and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 33-22? Seeing none, ordinance 33-22 will be moved to a second reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on October 25th, 2022. We'll move on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan.
I got nothing.
Thank you. Ms. Phillips.
I have nothing, quite
Thank
a
you.
week.
You're just thinking of the mayor not asking any questions, aren't you? Mrs. Owens.
Nothing. Good night, Madam President.
Thank you. Mr. Trolley.
Sandy, would you please put me down for 1 to 3 for the bell ringing?
Yes.
Thank you, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Gilman.
For a cheaper
He has nothing else on his calendar, that's why.
I was quick on my phone, I pull up my calendar off and try to get the spot before Jerry, but I don't know what I'm doing that day, so nothing tonight, Madam President, but I will absolutely volunteer, I just don't know.
Okay.
Thanks, Jerry.
Seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn, and Miss Sandy, would you send me down for 10 to 12?
Oh. Pull out my phone after this meeting.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mrs. Gilman. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Adjourned. Don't forget my gap.
December 7th?
Yes.
Sandy.